Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, y'all? I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration.
Yay! I couldn't decide what noise I was going to make there, so it's kind of a combo.
Yeah, it just was kind of like...
I was going to go with a yeehaw, and then I was like, no. And then I was going to say, like, I don't know, yippee or something, and neither felt very authentic, so there you have
that's
it.
Okay. It was kind of like a rally and then a redirect. Fizzled out. How you doing? How's the week going?
Oh, it's going. We can tell the folks. I had a heavier day yesterday. My beloved 18.5-year-old beagle needed to cross the Rainbow Bridge. So, that always puts a certain damper on things, but it was time. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, even though she resurrected like Jesus. She
did several times.
Yeah.
She did. She was in the Easter spirit, poor thing. But I think she started having some seizures, and then she went from having a pretty good quality of life, for a little old bitty to not at all, and just really struggling. So,
yeah, I'm glad that you had that little extra buffer with her over the weekend.
Yeah,
that's good. But yeah, it lingers. That lingers. Our pets.
It's mostly just really weird because you get, especially for having her as long as I did, you get so used to certain things, and even just little stuff like hearing her nails click on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm so used to like making sure that I don't leave my food in reach because she was a thief, and all these kind of weird things, and you find yourself doing a habit, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess we don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, that sticks around for a long time, I think, too. I totally get it.
Yeah, but we're okay. I actually chose to take her to the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. Shout out to them. Because it needed to happen right away, and they could just take me right away, and it was very affordable, and they did a really wonderful job. They just came right up to me to service me, and then they put the ashes in a butterfly garden, which I think is super cute. So Olivia and I kind of made a little thing where, well, when we see a butterfly, that's fancy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, Fancy. Shout out to Fancy.
Shout out to Fancy. She's up there. Well, she's up there with her late husband Frank, who was an oversized pug.
Is that Vicky's dog?
Yes.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook. That was so cute.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So I don't know. I think this week, what I'm seeing and what I've been experiencing with clients is it was that new moon energy. And so a lot of people were letting go of things and then setting into motion things that they wanted to manifest, and which was really cool. Lots of new beginnings for people. One client that won the Creative Loafing Visioning session, we had ours yesterday, and she's doing amazing. But talk about a reset. She's remodeling after a house fire. So it was really interesting. Her floor plan was missing fire as like a sector, which is your fame and reputation. And then it's like her house generated the fire at a
Whoa.
time when she was switching her career. So it was really, really wild. Very cool session. She's highly intuitive. So I really like jamming out on those with someone that's really tuned in and has a lot of momentum. So she'll be turning on her light for her business, but she's actually switching into something more intuitive based. So I'm really excited to see that for her in the Tampa Bay area. But yeah, I mean, that's just one example. It was kind of like, and many times I found myself saying the same kind of thing that you and I say is like, let's not wait for a signier sign,
Mm.
you know?
Mhm.
So that like came up in so many conversations, and it wasn't from me. It was from someone that really didn't even know me unless they were listening to the podcast. I don't know. But just they were, like, well, this was just like a sign, and I'm not waiting around for another sign.
Right.
So really cool. Anyway, I thought, maybe since we have a lot going on, we could do an I Ching energy
Awesome.
check-in and just weave in some of the observations that we've had. By the way, just want to give a shout out to you and Adrian Falcone, Godsell. We've been getting lots of inboxes about our episodes on nutrition, and they're really they're on point. Lots of other guest experts are reaching out. So I'm making time on the calendar to do some intake on some new people coming in to have conversations with us. And they're really tapping into some new, outside the box systems that they've learned from their own life. So I'm excited about that too. And still conversations happening around dreams and dream world. So, yeah, it's all kind of just circling out there.
Yeah.
And like we always say, the episodes are always find the people at the exact right time.
That they do. I listened to a Steve Tarot today or yesterday, I can't even remember, and he did like an energetic he calls it an energetic weather update. So
Yeah.
we'll see if we connect with any of the same themes here, but just as a little summary, the main gist of it was that it's a heightened emotional time. From now through kind of like the beginning of May. He's like, watch out, watch out watching the reality television and stuff like that, because you'll find yourself crying over,
Oh, great.
nothing, or just getting not necessarily crying, but getting overly invested into, kind of ridiculous things. So we'll see if that has any bearing on what we discover here.
Yeah, to that point, it's important to make sure that the emotions we're feeling are our emotions and not taking on someone else's emotions.
Yeah. And the moon, when the moon energy is high, that's always an emotional,
Yeah.
it has a big effect on our emotions.
All right. Well, here we go. We're going to ask the I Ching, what is the energy currently around the Conscious Collaboration Collective, all of those listening at this time? And what do we need to know in this forward energy so that we can access greater clarity, creativity, and momentum towards the abundance and the life that we desire? Okay. So that one just turned over right away, and that's really exciting. So I'm excited about this. I don't know if it was what's been coming up a lot, Great Vigor. Was this our energy last week?
That one always makes me giggle like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, Great Vigor. It has been in nearly everybody's reading that I've been meeting with this week. So that's Hexagram 34, thunder above and sky below. And then shifting into the forward energy, we're going to be talking about creative power.
I like that.
The most auspicious.
I like that card. Looks a little bit like a butterfly at the top.
Yeah, it's the best one out of all the 64 hexagrams, creative power.
Oh.
So it's the energy of sky above, sky below, and it's the most yang.
Okay.
So as I was talking about fire energy,
Well, that's vigor too, right? And
yeah,
intensity.
yeah.
And that could very well go along with emotional intensity.
Yeah, vigor is very high yang, except for when you're looking at heaven, divine, your super consciousness. So that is open. That's yin. So ajna, and then into divine, and what you're receiving is open. That's where we are, is with great vigor. So I think as we talk about new beginnings, that's going to be the story.
New
Just at a
beginning,
glance.
new moon. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So kicking it off. And there are 2 change lines, and they are in those upper 5 and 6 lines. So great vigor, both of these energies, congratulations. There is strength and vigor in this situation, like that of a rain that knocks down a fence to free. Sorry, not rain, but maybe that was a good slip.
Yeah.
A ram, like
Aries.
April, like Aries.
Yeah. Which we just left Aries season, but still.
We're not in
And so-
Aries season today?
No, we're in Taurus season now.
Oh, good. Ainsley will be very excited.
Yeah. But it's a ram going into a bull, so.
Right, both of them. This time points to a time when a strong force comes into its own and asserts its power. So by following what we know intuitively to be true for the greater good, we're going to be avoiding reckless abuses, which could undermine our strength. Watch out for arrogance in this energy, because that will undo any of the good stuff that we're putting into motion. And so keeping our power in check, knowing that we have a lot of momentum and power behind us, strong leader vibes. Now, where that's a little bit more nuanced in those top line energies that I was talking about, the guidance is use of excessive force generates strong opposition, leading to deadlocks that make it impossible to advance or retreat. If you have pushed things too far, your only option may be to recognize the obstacles created by an overly aggressive attitude and then make proper adjustments. So just to keep yourselves in check, don't create your own blockages by being too pushy. So keeping that receptive yin in that area. Don't overthink things. So in that headspace, be open to possibilities. You don't really know what the outcome is going to look like. When the strong find themselves in a loose and easy situation, a loss of alertness and a weakening of influence can set in. If external resistance is absent at work or in your situation, I don't know why it's picking up work, relax and enjoy things for the time being, but avoid being complacent. Learn to create.
That's the word I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Learn to create challenges for yourself, if only in recreational activities.
That reminds me of like being in elementary school and not, you're not being challenged enough. So you start acting rowdy, cutting up.
Yeah.
As my teachers used to say.
Was that you?
In the South, cutting up. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
You can direct that into your strength training or your hobbies, learning something new. In the next coming weeks, the 1 to 3 weeks ahead in this creative power, which again is ripe with imagination, inspiration, and energy. It's the symbol of the flying dragon here, which is to represent dynamic, arousing force that bodes well for creative movement. If your goals are in alignment with the greater good, positive actions taken with good timing will meet with success. This is an excellent time to exercise leadership, because you can be strong now. But be forewarned, success turns to failure if strengths turn to arrogance. Ooh. So
it is very Aries energy still. That reminds me of like the Emperor card, and
Emperor card.
In balance, it's in balance, but yeah, you can definitely out of balance creep into that too much ego and too much power, too much force.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think of like when you're in creative mode and you're like doing an oil painting or something and you're being too rigid about it to make it really perfect. But in doing so, you just screw it up.
Overly perfectionist.
Over perfectionism, overly complicating, and not allowing things to be free and expressive. So whoever draws this hexagram is assured success if they follow its 6 stages of development, starting with the bottom line. By being sensitive to conditions and doing things in the right order, one develops more influence. Time itself, from the page, becomes the means to make real what has only been the potential before this moment. Believe in your dreams and persevere, and everything around you will flourish. Call upon your creative power and let it work through you. Stay focused on your goals. Do not allow yourself to be distracted, or you may lose the power that is available to you right now in this moment. Remember that when you take action, success requires making the right moves at the right time, which is now. So, I feel like this is really personal to me. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, my takeaway, you've got energy, you've got creativity available to you right now, which I welcome it. So it's a time of high energy and high creativity. Just as with anything in excess, don't go to excess, because that will detract from the benefits that you can get from that energy and creativity. So noted.
Yeah, it makes me think too, like I've got several new leadership things going on. I'm onboarding an assistant on Tuesday next week.
Ooh, awesome.
So I'm learning to do it better this time. It's a learning for me, to let someone else take some of my projects, not the design and not like the headspace stuff that I need to do, but the admin. And I love a lot of that kind of stuff too. Like I kind of geek out over spreadsheets and Canva stuff, and I kind of like that, but I can't do it all. So I'm learning this time, focusing on being better at a leader and setting things up so that I'm not micromanaging and getting in my own way. If the whole intention,
making those systems and processes so that in theory anybody could look at them and follow it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been interesting, and I hope that frees up more time. And I wonder, if anyone listening, if they are in a similar position, keeping the checks and balances, not being too, as I get into a tendency to be OCD in business at that type, when momentum is picking up and, goals are getting bigger. The whole point is to let people to help you. That will be, we'll see. Well, I'll give an update.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, exactly. And I think too, just the creative aspect of things and not overcomplicating. I've got the design projects and the summit coming up this Sunday. And the summit is around grounding during a time of chaos. So it's like, as I prepare, I'm reminding myself to do that energetic maintenance, which has been good.
For sure.
Yeah. So I would just encourage everybody, as we were talking about signs, just to, I just heard a bird. Was that a bird outside of your window or mine?
Yeah. I've got some like seabirds and stuff that hang out back,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool when they decide to talk during a yoga class because it makes it feel like we're not far from nature, but we are kind of in the middle of the parking lot right here. So we've got a
Mhm.
couple of oak trees and stuff out back that the birds come to. I don't know if they're coming from the park or whatever, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful park that's over there. But just to pay attention to wildlife, and see that if there is anything that keeps reappearing 3 times in particular, that's something to look into. I had a client that's been visited several times by a crow,
mhm,
which is a really powerful sign of new beginnings.
mhm.
And crows are really communicative. Um, there's been the feathers, of course, the reoccurrences of feathers for people. That's been really strong. So if you see those, pay attention to them and look into the meaning. At minimum, you can Google the shamanic meaning of what it is that keeps reoccurring so you can see how that may apply to your situation right now.
Yeah, I love getting messages that way, like looking up the animal energies and stuff.
Yeah, I think it helps in situations, especially in new beginnings or tapping into creativity or just uncharted territory. When you get those signs, it feels like that communication, that ask and then you get the answer type of thing, kind of like what Maureen was talking about with us and how nature has that communication. It's helpful, so allow it to help.
Yep. Keep dialed
the,
in and
the
believe
unconventional.
it when it happens.
Yeah. Was that kind of along the lines of anything that came up in Steve's reading?
I mean, his was really about emotional intensity. So I think,
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be applied.
Yeah. I haven't listened to him in a long time, but I was kind of hoping I was through the emotional sensitivity thing. I don't know if it was the astrological, probably perimenopause.
He wasn't using the word sensitive. That wasn't
Okay.
it. It was just heightened emotions. So you
Emotions.
could, you could call those the same thing, but he wasn't really using it in that context. It was more, yeah, it was like emotional intensity,
Mm-hmm.
which everything we're talking about, I mean, even aggression, right, and rage is emotional intensity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so I think it is complementary.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, what do you say we keep this short and sweet and get back onto
Hmm.
that vibe of creativity and keep it churning out? I'm going to hop inside of the Conscious Collaboration Collective, our closed and private Facebook group, and check in with everybody there, and just keep those conversations going. I know we've got a few people that are working on some big projects inside the group, and they're about ready to reveal. Going to
Ooh.
throw Postway out there on the carpet. So I expect to see, some cool, exciting things from him and hopefully to have him back and what he's been learning and developing. So if you guys are interested in what we're chatting about in there, hop on in and introduce yourself, get engaged in some of the additional bonus content, and make sure that you take advantage of and download our 2025 alignment guide that we created. I don't use it every day, but just having it and knowing that these components are important to keep in alignment are really helpful. And it's simple, right? So,
What gets measured gets managed.
right, exactly. Just keep it top of mind. Read through it a couple of times a month if it's all you have time to, and it might help you to push that needle forward where you need it. And what else? Yeah, connect with us. Thank you for connecting with us. We're getting lots of emails, DMs on Instagram. So we appreciate you. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing with your friends. And what else, Em? Is that it?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, with that being said, I will release everybody out. All right.
Go use that creative power.
Go use your creative power. Keep it in check a little bit.
Don't go crazy.
All right. We'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.